Bonjour! My name is David DeVere. I'm a wine educator and traveler, and you're watching Savvy Nomad TV, the Eau de Vie edition. This is day 18 of the Costco Wine Advent-ure box. Let's see what the box has got for us today. Okay, if you're new here and you don't know how you got here because the YouTube algorithm just suggested this video and you clicked it, then maybe you want to look at this playlist and go back to the beginning and watch the previous 17 episodes. If you're not new here, you know what we're doing. We're tasting these tiny little bottles. So let's get to number 18. My box is looking a little worse for wear. I've got these big holes in it. And I'm going to add another one. 18 up here is a rabbit with a hat on. Gosh, can I get this open without opening 23? I hope so. There it is, number 18. It's a red. What do we got? Okay, we've got a Rioja from Navarre. Super. Okay, before we taste this, let's talk very briefly about what we know about Navarre and its neighboring region, Rioja. Now, when I opened this, I said, all right, we've got a Navarre and a Rioja. Well, in Spanish, it's a Navarra. In French, it's a Navarre. They swap the A with an E. And it's technically not a Rioja, but it's done in a Rioja style. Okay, let me explain. In Navarre, which is on the northwestern corner of France, just south of the Pyrenees, you have a tradition of French ownership. They gained it through marriage in the 1200s. The kings of France did. And they were perpetually the owners until, well, you know the story. Anyhow, there's a little part of France in Spain. Just south of the current regional border of Navarre is the Rioja growing region, and they grow Tempranillo grapes in Rioja. These wines are some of the best known Spanish reds. They have a grading system for these wines in Rioja that are based on how much time in oak and how much time in the bottle. The grading system works like this. It's a Crianza, a Reserva, and a Gran Reserva. The Gran Reservas can be as much as 10 years old, with a number of those years spent in a barrel or in a bottle, usually both. In Navarre, just to the north, culturally very similar. In fact, I would say the winemaking techniques and even the grapes are almost identical. The Navarre region is lesser known. It's considered a sub-region. It's not considered a Rioja because it's not grown in Rioja. So while I called it a Rioja, I was wrong. It's not really a Rioja. It's a Navarre. What do they grow in Navarre? The same things they grow in Rioja, and they age them very similarly. So I was kind of right. It is a Rioja, but it's not a Rioja. Well, okay, it's a little confusing, but you get it. Names do matter, and this is a Navarre. We have a Tempranillo, Grenache, Merlot blend. Now in Rioja, they would not add Merlot to this. They would stick with the Tempranillo and the Grenache, or what the Spanish call Garnacha and the French call Grenache. The French do not grow Tempranillo. That is a signature Spanish red grape. It does well in Spain. It likes this part of Spain. It doesn't want to move. And it makes nice, well-structured, if a little bit grippy red wine. All right, let's taste this. All right, I filled out the top of my card. You should too. We've got day 18, Tempranillo, Grenache, Merlot blend. They told us on the back. That is very kind. 40% Tempranillo, 30 and 34 the Merlot and Grenache respectively. It is 61 degrees. That's drinking temperature, no problem. We've got a wine from Navarre, which is Spanish. Now, what kind of aromas would we expect? From the Tempranillo, maybe strawberries, leather, maybe a touch of vanilla and cedar. From the Grenache, we could get strawberries, raspberries, It could be spicy or even peppery in the mouth. Those things can come through as alcohol, but they can also come through as a flavor. Let's see, no spilling. There we go. Got to go slow with these little full tiny bottles. It's a red wine, so it's not going to be as aromatic and expressive. Don't grade this like you grade the whites, because it's not going to smell as good. So you got to give it a little bit better score because it's a red, and it'll be less expressive in its aromatics. Okay, let's see what we get. Ooh, it smells nice. Maybe I do get a little bit of strawberry. There's vanilla in there, absolutely. Vanilla and strawberry. That's actually pretty clear. I think that smells good. Whoops, I forgot to do the color. Well, okay, let's do the color first. Is it more red or blue? I think it's more red. So I've got red, and I've got, I don't know, it's dark in here today. It's super foggy. I'm gonna go deep. Okay, and then we already determined strawberry and vanilla, and I'm gonna give that a 9 for aroma. It smells really good. Okay, let's taste this. Dry or sweet? It's dry. What's the body? Medium, full. What's the acidity? It's fresh. You can tell it's just kind of a light tingle, a very, very light tingle on the mouth. Actually, no, scratch that. Smooth. And the acidity, I'll give it an 8. I think it's good. It's nice. It's not overly anything. It's not too prickly. It shouldn't be prickly for a nice big red wine. Okay, let's go with balance. Let me taste it again. This is my first blush with the wine today, so I could get a burn going down. If I get that again, then it's out of balance. How's the alcohol? It's warming, but there's no burn. The acidity is nice. The tannins are smooth. They're grippy. I can feel my gums and lips, but they're smooth. And the sugars seem nicely balanced. It's good. I'll give it an 8. All right, complexity. Ooh, this is where the wine really needs to show up if it's going to get a good score. Complexity is mostly your noticing. So what are you noticing? Are you noticing extra flavors and aromas that live outside of just the smell? This is the taste part. I like this wine. It's super approachable and really easy to drink. It's almost got a little bit of sweetness to it, and I like that vanilla flavor. But I don't think it's particularly complex. I'm going to give it a 6. It's not really a 7. It doesn't have a bunch of extra things going on once they swallow it. It's nice, but it doesn't have a bunch of stuff. And finish and length. The finish, I've been talking for a minute. Do I still taste it? No. It's slightly there. It's more the grippiness. It's more the tannins that I still feel in my mouth rather than actually the finish. So it's kind of medium. Is it a nice finish? Adds to the sensation? Sure. Is it an 8 or a 7? I'm going to go 7. Because If the finish was really great, I could go 9, or if it's slightly less than great, I could go 8. If it's superb, I would go 10. I haven't given anything a 10 yet. This is not a 10, it's a 7. Okay, I'm gonna go do my math. Okay, here are my final scores for our day 18 Spanish Navarra. Aroma, 9. Acidity, 8. Balance, 8. Complexity, 6. Finish and length, 7. That adds up to 38 points. Add that to 50 and you've got 88. A very respectable score for this Navarra. Now, can you find this in the store? Probably not. What can you find? You can find Riojas. You can find simple Riojas that are not in the graded system, or you can find Crianzas. They will also say Rioja on the label. A Reserva, obviously Rioja on the label, and the Grand Reserva will be on the label. Sometimes these Spanish wines are actually wrapped in wire, which will kind of make them stand out. They've got like a wire net around them, which is kind of cool. Anyhow, these Riojas at the lower grade level are inexpensive. You can find them really cheaply, $8, $10. Those are good everyday drinkers. They would be similar to this. In fact, I think this is maybe a little better than some of those low-grade Riojas. Now, at the other end of the scale, you can find a Gran Reserva, again, similar style grapes. The Gran Reservas could be as much as $50 or even more. And those are really special wines. If you have a special occasion, you are getting together with friends you haven't seen for a long time, you've got a nice meal that you've prepared, you know, you might want to use a special bottle of wine for that. Chill it properly, serve it properly, and it will reward you. Pair it properly with hearty food, meat, sausages, hard cheeses. Those will all go good here. Spanish olives, crusty bread, hearty winter soups. This is a good winter wine. It's a cold weather wine. You can definitely use this in the winter months. All right, that's it. That's all I know about Spanish reds. Well, sort of. That's as much as I'm going to talk about anyway in this episode. If you've liked this, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. And tell me what you think about this Navarra. Did you enjoy it? I did. 88 points. It's almost as good as our Côte de Gascon. Maybe it's equal. That's just a few points away. Anyhow, leave a comment down below and tell me what you think. And until tomorrow, until day 19, I say à tout à l'heure and cheers.
Hello. No idea, but if it's from Spain, could be a Rioja. That has a nice scent. I'm often smelling kind of spicy, woodsy, cedary sort of things in reds. I don't know if that's from the oak or just a natural byproduct of making wine. Tannins. Grippy. I'll try again. One sec. Less grippy the second time. Long finish. I'm enjoying it. Cheers.